Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be previewing the Houston Astros regular season game number 11 for this Astros team. Excited to see what the Astros can go out there and do today in the second game of this series with Framber Valdez on the mound for the third time. His last outing against the Giants was definitely not great. Wish he could do better this outing after his first outing against the Mets, going 7 innings. We'll see how Framber can do tonight. Going up against Luis Castillo, the next 2 games the Astros will face Luis Castillo, but just different Luis Castillos. Today it's going to be the Luis Castillo that you've seen for years, and then tomorrow's Luis F. Castillo. So yeah, that's interesting. But what is the lineup looking like today for the Houston Astros against Luis Castillo? Jose Altuve will be back in left field after playing second base yesterday. He'll be at leadoff. The hottest guys in the offense right now. Isaac Paredes will be at third base and at the 2 spot after having a 4-for-6 day the other day. Yordan Alvarez will be back at DH at the 3 spot after being in left field yesterday. Christian Walker will be at 4 and at first base. Jeremy Pena will be at the 5 spot, and at shortstop, of course, Brendan Rodgers will be at 6 at the second base position. At 7 is Yainer Diaz at catcher. And then at the 8 spot is right fielder Ken Smith. And at the 9 spot is Jake Myers. In center field, Framber Valdez is on the mound. All right. So I want to go over some stats for this Astros lineup going up against Luis Castillo. I saw somebody say yesterday when they put Yordan Alvarez in left field, I saw someone say on Astros Twitter that meant Yordan Alvarez is going to get the day off today. I'm like, there is no way Yordan Alvarez is going to get the day off on a day where Luis Castillo is pitching, because Yordan Alvarez has absolutely dominated him. 3 home runs and 6 RBIs, a walk and a double, 8 for 17 in his career. Altuve's 3 for 13 against him with an RBI. Now, good thing Victor Caratini was in the lineup yesterday. Good thing he's not in the lineup today, because Caratini has struggled against him in his career. 2 for 19 in his career, striking out 8 times against Castillo. Yainer Diaz is 2 for 8 with 2 RBIs in his career against him. Here's the one thing I will complain about. I would have had Mauricio Dubon in this lineup over Jake Myers. I know Jake Myers recently has played well, had a hit yesterday, had a single yesterday, had 3 walks on Sunday and an extra base hit, had a stolen base as well. Saturday was, a good day for him as well with a double. But Jake Myers, 1 for 11 in his career, striking out 3 times against Castillo. Meanwhile, Mauricio Dubon is 3 for 11 in his career with an RBI against Castillo. And here's the other thing. You're not going to see a lot of fly balls and going to center field when Framber Valdez is starting. So I don't think Jake Myers is actually going to get a lot of action at center field tonight with Framber Valdez on the mound. So offensively, I think having Dubon in the lineup would have been a better option for this Astros team over Jake Myers. But I guess if you look at it recently, how things have gone, Jake Myers has been the better offensive player, so I guess I can understand that. Other players, Isaac Paredes is the only player outside of Yordan Alvarez to send Luis Castillo back, to send him deep. A home run off of him, 2 for 11 though in his career. Jeremy Pena, outside of Yordan Alvarez, has the most success against Castillo, 6 for 18 in his career with a double against him. So that's good to see, especially after Jeremy Pena's numbers against the last Seattle starter. Jeremy Pena, going into yesterday's game, was 1 for 23 against Logan Gilbert. And then went 0 for 2 yesterday against Gilbert. So 1 for 25 in his career against Gilbert. So, I think this Astros offense bounces back from yesterday. The offense wasn't yesterday. You look at it, was the offense bad? Yes, but the reason they lost was because of the pitching. So I think the offense, even though they only scored 3 runs and 2 hits, the pitching collapsed in the 8th inning is why the Astros lost. And I think the offense should be better today. If you look at all their games where there are not a lot of hits, they always at least hit wise, not run wise, but with hits, they always bounce back, and the offense gets more going in the next game after that. For instance, this is just a for instance with the Astros this year. On a game where the offense was the second game of the season, the Astros lost to the Mets. They only had 3 hits. They only had 1 run. The next game, they had 5 hits and they had 4 walks. And that's not much of an improvement, but, they got better. For instance, is the Astros offense in the opening series to open up the series against the Giants. They only had 3 hits. Then their next game in that series had 7 hits against the Giants. So I think the offense bounces back today. And it should be that's going to be great if the offense can bounce back with Framber Valdez being on the mound. But another thing that is key to note, that there are some guys in this Mariners lineup that have had a lot of success against Framber Valdez. For some reason, the Mariners are keeping Jorge Polanco out of the lineup. That is a blessing in disguise. Jorge Polanco was the hero for the Mariners last night. He's not in the lineup. That's not why it's a blessing. He's 12 for 25 in his career against Framber Valdez. I have no idea why Jorge Polanco is not in the lineup today. But Mitch Garver's 8 for 30 in his career against Framber with 4 walks. J.P. Crawford is 9 for 31 in his career with a homer against Framber. Julio Rodriguez is 7 for 25 with a homer against him. There's a lot of success in this lineup. Rowdy Tellez is one guy that struggled against Framber. 4 strikeouts and 5 at-bats against Framber. So, I think that there are some guys that you want to watch out for in this Mariners offense that have had success against Framber Valdez in the past that are in this lineup today. One of them that's not is Jorge Polanco. I have no idea why you wouldn't put Jorge Polanco in the lineup today when he is 12 for 25 against Framber Valdez. Now, here's another thing to know. Astros are 4-6 to start the season. If they get their 5th win of the season tonight and improve to 5-6, I know that seems like a bad record, but just going to remind everybody that if they improve to 5-6 tonight, the Astros would reach their 5th win on the 11th game of the season. Last year, the Astros didn't reach their 5th win of the season until the 16th game of the year. So they'd be on a better pace than they were last year. Keep in mind, last year they started off 7-19 and still made it to the playoffs. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros game against the Mariners today, and if hopefully they could win the game and avoid a series loss. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out. Go Astros.